Thank you so much, everyone. I do want to end today with a huge thank you to everyone who attended today. We are at a very difficult point in history as COVID continues to devastate the world, as hundreds of billions of US tax dollars are poured into wars and militarism abroad as opposed to the needs of US civilians. The climate catastrophe hangs its heavy head over us, and I know many of us in the younger generation are just exhausted. But what I've learned in my many years of activism is that change requires love and community. And that's our goal today, is to create that, because we need people pressuring politicians. We need people in the streets. We need people like all of you taking the time to learn about these issues. Through the connections all of us have made today, the organizations we've learned about, whether union movements, civil rights we learned about the conversations we've had on how to make change happen, good things are happening. So whether it's a union movement, civil rights movement, anti-war movement, indigenous rights movements, immigrant rights movements, disability justice, queer rights, the passion of activism has taught us that we can make the impossible things happen. And you all being here in and of itself proves that too, that we can and will create a better world. And as such, I want to end today with a call to action. Now that you have all spent your weekend learning about how militarism and imperialism in the so-called United States and beyond contribute to climate catastrophe, here's what you can also do. First, right here in Chicago, Dissenters Chicago, the Chicago Coalition for Human Rights in the Philippines, Rising Tide Chicago, and Anakbayan UIC, as well as other organizations, including CAPA, are putting together an entire week of action to stop the Boeing arms genocide. And for those who are not aware, Boeing is not just a commercial airline company. It is also one of the largest manufacturers and distributors of weapons in the so-called United States, and actively lobbies Congress to perpetuate the US ugly war machine. Their weapons are huge contributors to environmental and climate catastrophe, but Dissenters, this youth-led movement, is working against their violence through pushing universities to divest from Boeing's, teach-ins, and more. I bring them up because they are hosting their weekend of action on the week of April 18th. As more information comes out, we at CAPA will be sure to promote the event through our social media. But if you do want to get more directly involved, please either email them at boeingarmsgenocide@gmail.com. You can also check out their Instagram page, which is at Boeing Arms Genocide if you are on Instagram. They will be posting updates as this event comes together on different ways folks can get involved. And secondly, we want to encourage folks to learn more about and get involved with their local movement to stop Line 3 and Stop 5. Line 3 and Line 5 are two oil pipelines being illegally built by the Canadian company Enbridge in Indigenous territory, wreaking horrendous environmental damage to this region. Indigenous leaders are fighting to stop these pipelines, but have faced massive backlash and violence from local police forces, who are, by the way, paid by Enbridge. A quick action item everyone can take right now is to go to the link we just posted in the chat to sign a petition to name their opposition to Line 3. If you're not already aware of Stop Line 3's website, or of Stop Line 3, definitely take this time to look through the website. There are many more ways to get involved with the Stop Line 3 movement, including many organizations right here in Illinois and the Chicago area that are working to stop Line 3 and Line 5. I'll take a moment. If any organizations are here today working to stop Line 3 or Line 5, if you'd like, you can take a moment to post your information in the chat, just so folks can kind of know to get involved. But some organizations I can name that are working on this in Chicago include Sunrise Chicago, Extinction Rebellion Chicago, Rising Tide Chicago, as well as CAPA's own climate group. So stay involved. There's many ways to help kind of stop this terrible pipeline. Thank you again to all of our fantastic speakers, to our many co-sponsors, to Charles, our organizing director, for running tech this entire weekend, to David, our president, and Marcia, our most active board member, for the hours of time they've dedicated to our event. Thank you to all of you for taking the time out of your busy weekends to be here. But most of all, I want to thank our student leaders, including Samir from CAPA DePaul, Lucille from CAPA Loyola, Andrew and Jacopo from CAPA UIUC. They have dedicated so much of their time as full-time students while working jobs, while working internships to make this event happen. This was them. This was their workshops, the graphics you've been seeing, the e-blasts, the conversations. This was them. They did this. These students are true leaders, true activists. They are the faces of change. They are the faces of the next generation, making the world a better place. It has been the honor of a lifetime to work with them over the past year, and I am beyond excited to see what all of them do moving forward. If folks are able, we also encourage folks to donate to Chicago Area Peace Action so we can continue to make events like this happen. Every dollar given to us ensures that we can not only keep supporting the work of our 3 student chapters, but expand our work to new Chicago and Chicago area universities. And we'll go ahead and post the donation link in the chat. I'm going to end today with one of my all-time favorite quotes from Angela Davis. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Much of the environmental degradation military complex is devastating beyond words, but we can and we will change the ways of US imperialism and militarism, and we will end up in a better place than we are now. And it's because of people like you taking the time to come to events like this today and taking action moving forward. So thank you, everyone. I'm just very happy you're here. So round of applause to everyone.
Woo.
Wonderful. And we finished about 4 minutes early, so we can leave. We can be open for a few minutes to discuss before we close out. If anyone here wants to share reflections, thoughts, or if speakers want to reshare links for their organization in the chat. If anyone has any questions, please do. Just as a refresher, to raise your hand, go to the bottom of your screen and towards the right, you're going to see a little smiley face. Click on that and there will be a button that says raise hand. If you're having issues, you can message Charles Johnson or Marcia Bernstein. Ivy?
I want to lift up that I attended the breakout session on West Papua, and it was really low attendance. So it's definitely, I know that it was because there were so many other interesting sessions happening, but I encourage everyone to go back and watch it and learn about the situation in West Papua with its settler colonialism on top of settler colonialism, on top of military and corporate exploitation, and more people need to hear about it. So definitely highlight that one.
Thank you so much, Ivy, for doing that. And yes, I agree. Definitely an important issue, and we will be posting all of our recordings online. So you will have the opportunity to watch these later. They'll be on YouTube, they'll be on our website, and we will be doing some sort of email blast to all of you, sharing the links as well. So yes, definitely, I encourage folks to go back and watch that recording as well. And Carolyn?
Just that I wanted to ask for all the links that have been in chat. I saw a few people mention that too, but just it would be great afterwards because I haven't been able to record them as fast as they go up. So
yeah.
Yep.
Thank
We'll
you.
make sure to include those. I've got them saved, so thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, and Rabbit?
Yeah, hi friends. I organize with Rising Tide Chicago, and I know Aaron talked a bit about our work in a breakout session, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the Save Belleville Prairie campaign that's going on right now too, that you may be aware of. There's an airport expansion in Rockford, Illinois that's set to bulldoze an 8,000-year-old prairie. So if you're interested in that, go to savebellevilleprairie.org. And if you want to get involved locally, Rising Tide Chicago is doing a lot of good work with some folks in Rockford there. So just wanted to give that a shout out as well. Aaron dropped the link in the chat. Thank you, Aaron. Love y'all.
Yeah, thank you, Rabbit. And yes, I will echo definitely look up the Save Balboa Prairie campaign. Very relevant to everything we're doing, and definitely something I want to uplift. All right, does anyone else have anything? You can also post things in the chat. Yes, and Aaron posted Rising Tide Chicago. Rising Tide is one of the main organizations working on the Bell Bowl Prairie initiative. So that website's a good place to go if you want to get more involved. All right, well, it's 1 o'clock. I say we close things out. I am over the moon, filled with joy that this event happened and that we had such a beautiful turnout with so many beautiful conversations. I hope you all stay in touch because coalition building is key to any change. Community and love is key to any change. And we hope you felt a sense of community and love here today. And I hope you are able to build your coalitions, whether you are just, you know, someone who's brand new to this movement, you're someone who's been in the movement for 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I hope this is a place of expansion for you. And yes, Marsha also just posted her email in the chat. If you want to email us, message us about anything, please do. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much.